Hi church family, it's Erin here, just jumping on to a video which I haven't done in a super long time, but that is because I have something really important to talk to you about today. Over the last couple of weeks in the announcement piece on Sunday mornings, we've been talking about the need for volunteers for Alliance Kids and Youth. And I was reminded this week of how important it has been in my life when people have taken the time to tell me about Jesus, when they have taken the time even gone out of their way to share with me about how Jesus has impacted their life and really just testify to who he is. Some of those people have been friends. Some of them have just been people that I know through just casual interactions. But many of them, especially in my younger years, were my Sunday school teachers and my youth group leaders. These people didn't have to give up their time to be involved in the way that they did, but just their involvement meant so much. It almost emphasized when they did tell me about Jesus, because they had shown that it was worth so much to them to tell me and others about Jesus that they were kind of making themselves uncomfortable or making themselves have to show up to things earlier than they normally would have to. They just went out of their way to even testify with their time and energy and effort with how much Jesus meant to them. And as we've talked over the last couple of weeks about the need for volunteers, that has come to mind to me, just how there's many in our midst, specifically our kids and youth, that are actually needing somebody to show that to them right now. And I'm wondering if that is something that you can help with. Maybe when we were talking about these needs, or maybe this is the first time you're hearing of the needs, you immediately thought of the reasons why it's not you, that you don't have a story to share, you don't have anything to say. But I wonder if I would invite you today to see that maybe you just even showing up testifies to how good Jesus is, because he matters that much to you to make sure that somebody else can learn about him. Because that's essentially what you're doing when you're serving in Alliance Kids and Alliance Youth. You're making it possible for a kid or a youth to hear about Jesus just because you show up. That's even before you share what he's done in your life, but just by you showing up, you are making it possible for them to learn about the Bible, about the Word of God, and why Jesus is who he says he is. And if you're on the other side of the screen, or you've had this reaction to this announcement, that you can list all the reasons why this is not for you, or why this is not the season or the time, or maybe you feel like you've done your part. We're not done. We're not done. I can just encourage you with that. But also, I would invite you to ask the question is, instead of saying, why shouldn't you do this? Ask God, saying, why should I do this? Why should I volunteer in this way? Why should I step out? And maybe, just maybe, this is a faith-building opportunity for you as well. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to trust Jesus with the outcome. Maybe you can only give part of the time that you think might be needed. Because I will tell you, one of the things that we haven't emphasized is the fact that all of our Sunday school teachers, they are only scheduled every other weekend. So maybe in your mind, an excuse is that I can't show up every week. Well, hopefully me just sharing with you that the Sunday school teachers rotate gives you an opportunity to say, hey, maybe this is for me. And so if there's other reasons that are coming to your mind why it won't work for you, again, turn that to why should I do this? And why maybe should you ask more questions about the role that is in need? So I would encourage you as well to just pray about this. Ask Jesus if this is something he's asking you to step out into obedience. Often we talk here about taking that next step with Jesus. Maybe this is your next step. Maybe your next step is going to impact somebody else's faith journey and even them having the opportunity to hear about Jesus and just how good he is. So if this is you, if this is something that God is laying on your heart right now, please contact us here at the church office. You can email or phone. We would love to hear from you, or at the very least, come talk to us on Sunday morning. This is just a great opportunity to be a part of what God is doing in the life of our church, because the youth and kids ministries have been a long legacy here at Fort St. John Alliance Church, almost from the beginning when we were founded in 1938. We want that to continue, but that is because we believe God is calling us to that, and that means you get to be a part of it. in some way, shape, or form, he is inviting you to be a part of what he is doing here at Fort St. John Alliance Church. So take this as your open invitation, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.